The road to an NBA title, it's long. For players, it takes thousands of hours of work, oceans of sacrifice. For franchises, it can take even longer. Just look at the Bucks, who tonight had the chance to win the NBA Finals. Since the team's last title, it's been 50 years of training camps and trades, of hopes raised and dashed, of hired coaches, fired GMs, old arenas coming down, new arenas coming up. And even when a team manages to, say, take a chance on a gangly kid from Greece and watch him turn into a superstar, it's hardly an overnight project. The Bucks drafted Giannis in 2013. That was 8 years ago. And only tonight, for the first time, are they getting the chance to play for a ring. So there's a lot of irony then that on this long, long road, so often the difference between winning and losing comes down to just an inch or two. Go back to Milwaukee's very first game of these playoffs, which the Bucks won in literally the last second of overtime, thanks to that Chris Middleton jumper. If the flight of that ball had been just an inch or two in either direction, if Milwaukee had lost that opening game at home, all the Bucks' past playoff demons would have come out to play. But thanks to Chris, that ball was true, and Milwaukee started rolling. Or what about in the second round against Brooklyn, when the Nets managed to max out that series despite all their injuries, when Kevin Durant was so automatic he often appeared to be shooting on a Nerf hoop? It took just an inch, maybe even a half an inch, to save Milwaukee in Game 7, when the tip of KD's shoe became the difference between a Brooklyn game winner that would have ended the Bucks playoff run right there, or a two-pointer that merely forced overtime. And I want to be clear, I am not saying Milwaukee just got lucky. The Bucks were the ones who went out and won that overtime to advance past the Nets and into the conference finals. But even if you have legit earned your spot, you need those little inches here or there to go right for you or wrong for your opponent, which is what happened in the to the Hawks in that next round the Bucks played. Remember when Trae Young reached his foot back to get some traction, unwittingly pushing into a referee so hard it gave him a bone bruise? What if Trae had turned just an inch or two up court first and then extended his leg backward? Maybe he never gets hurt. Maybe the Hawks force Milwaukee's playoff road into a permanent detour. Or what about in these finals? That insane block Giannis had on DeAndre Ayton in Game 4 was a matter of, yes, inches. If either Ayton or Giannis approaches the hoop at a slightly different angle, just an inch or two difference, that play either becomes a goaltending call on Giannis or Ayton dunking on Giannis's head. The Suns would have tied the game with just a little over a minute to play and easily could have taken a 3-1 lead in these finals. Instead, Giannis got every inch correct there, and the Bucks changed the momentum of the series. Which leads us to Game 5 and that final sequence we've seen so often in the past couple days. Watch it in slow motion. What if Devin Booker doesn't turn so sharply away from PJ Tucker, maybe stopped an inch or two shorter in his rotation, and therefore not as vulnerable to Jrue Holiday stealing the ball? What if Jrue, once he was running up the court, had been an inch or two lower on his pass for Giannis, and that incredible alley-oop had been intercepted and maybe run back the other way? Except Jrue wasn't an inch too low. He was dead on, and the Bucks are now on the doorstep of a title. And you know, if Milwaukee wins tonight, there will be a lot of talk about what a long time coming this championship will have been, and that will all be correct. Still, if it does happen, don't forget how narrow the margins had to be, how over and over a journey that spanned decades was affected by just an inch or two, and how a team mastering those tiny details is what makes a giant accomplishment, if they can do it, even more impressive.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.